Is classic productivity advice hurting you more than helping? I believe it is because 4 years ago, something happened with me which completely changed the way I looked at hustling. And this video is about my journey, how I got into yogic discipline, and what pivotal books I read that changed the trajectory of my life, and everything I really learned about doing less and achieving more. Hi, my name is Fasi. I'm a certified expert coach. And if you're curious about what yogic discipline is, it's an entire system that I've developed to become a productivity machine. And if you want to explore that for free, you'll find the link in the description. I've said this before, but since my teenage years, I was someone who always wanted to improve myself. Just like improve, become the best version of myself, like work, improve, do. And I later realized on my journey that this tendency of wanting to chronically and desperately improve came from a deeper part of me which felt unworthy. But more on that later. Another thing that I was inherently good at was controlling things. I was amazing at controlling my emotions, controlling my urges, controlling my habits, my actions. And I really maxed out that control aspect of me. And just like every other horny guy in his teenage, my only motive back then was to get approval and get attention from girls, which I wasn't getting. So I started working on it. I started doing things like no fab semen retention. And I started working on my communication skills, charisma by approaching strangers. So I started saying hi to people randomly. And there was this guy I used to follow. His name is Julian Blanc. You can check him out on YouTube. Amazing content. I used to follow him for social skills. And he kept repeating this one core message that he has, which is if you want to become a true social master, if you want to become the most charismatic person you're capable of being, you must release that dense emotion, suppressed trauma that you're carrying. And I was immediately hooked because it made sense to me back then. It still does. And he kept talking about this meditation called letting go meditation, which was inspired from this book. So I went crazy and I read everything I could about processing emotion, releasing trauma. I read this book as well. And I searched the net, like everything I could find on this topic. And the crux of letting go meditation, is like, let's say there's a rope, there's a like a thick rope, which are your emotions, and something's pulling that rope. But you try to hold it at any cost. You try to control it. And I was good at controlling. But letting go meditation is you letting go of that rope. And I absolutely sucked at letting go and at relaxing. I couldn't do it. It was impossible to me. And so for the past 4 years, I've scratched my head. I've banged my head against against the wall to try to figure out this meditation and how emotions work, how to process them, how to let go. And I think I'm comfortable saying this now that I know I understand to a good extent, at least more than 95% of the people, more than anyone I know personally, how emotions work and how to process them. And I would love to get into it, but that's beyond the purview of this video. But on this 4 year journey, something magical started to happen with me. My productivity skyrocketed. My overthinking, I used to be an overthinker. I used to be trapped up in my head a lot. Primary reason being I was blocked off from all the emotions. So the only place I could live was up in my head. So my overthinking reduced significantly. I became more self-aware, which is a duh because I was introspecting, I was meditating a lot. And because I became more self-aware, it also helped me find my purpose, which is this actually, like helping other people on the same journey as me and sharing the information that I've learned through videos and through coaching. And all of this happened without trying. It happened effortlessly. I didn't have to control things anymore. Another aspect of me that started developing was this tendency to release, to relax, to let go of some of that control that I was in. And I am very proud of myself because I stuck with it, this meditation consistently for 4 years. I did it every single day, no matter what happened. Like, even if I felt sick, I would find time to sit on my chair and do this meditation. And which, now that I think of it, is just the control freak in me, just controlling this new habit that I wanted to develop. And because of all of these changes, it felt like I was getting more done, even though I was doing much less. Like earlier, when I had to put effort and force, it felt like I'm pushing against the flow of water. Now it felt like I'm just flowing with the river, like almost like I'm getting pulled by a magnet towards my goals and towards the actions that I need to take. One of the reason being is that I found what resonated with me very deeply at a very core, which was my purpose, and that purpose like pulled me towards it. And around a year ago, I did two of my certifications to become a coach, and both of them hammered on the very same point that if you want to have lasting change and real change in people, if you want to create change and transformation in people, you have to go deeper than the surface level. So, if this is the level at which the problem arises and you can see, you must go at a deeper level, at deeper levels to address it. And listening to that message, it felt like an aha moment for me. Like a light bulb went on in my head and it all finally made sense. The reason my productivity increased effortlessly and I could do things so easily now is because I addressed that problem of procrastination, lack of discipline at a deeper level of my emotions, which was the root cause in my case. And inspired by that, I started this channel and I named it Meta Philosophy. And if you don't know what meta philosophy means, it is inspired by a quote of Einstein, which is I hope I don't ruin it or butcher it, but it's something along the lines of you can't address a problem at the level at which it was created. And to address a problem, you have to go beyond it. And that going beyond is what I did and was so effective for me. And that is what meta means. Meta means going beyond something, and philosophy is just a way of living. And I advocate for that. That's my primary message. To address a problem, you have to go beyond it, which is another way of saying you have to address it at deeper levels. And around that time, I also started coaching people through, inspired by this very same concept. I found a very concrete theory in Vedic tradition, which is called the Panchkosha theory. Again, I talk about it a lot on this channel. But the theory says that you are made up of 5 different layers: physical, mental, emotional, energy, which is breath, and then spiritual. And if you want to be the best version of you and want to change any aspect of you, the most effective and the most easy way is to tackle the change at these 5 levels. That's what the Panchkosha theory says. So I started coaching people following this holistic multiple level approach, and my clients experienced phenomenal results. Not only did the results stick, but the effort it took for them to be productive, to destroy procrastination, was much less. If you just tackle something at the level of, at the very surface level, the physical level, it's like you're a machine which is not well oiled. There's a lot of friction, there's a lot of resistance. But when you address it at multiple 5 levels, which is very easy and it's simpler than it sounds, it's like the machine is now well oiled and it's lubricated and it's effortlessly moving ahead. I called the process yogic discipline. And if this resonated with you and you're curious as to how I can help you apply yogic discipline in your life specifically, click the link in the description and schedule a free strategy call with me and we'll have a chat. And if you want to learn the ins and out of yogic discipline, I go in super detail in this video for free. So click here if you'd like to become as disciplined as a yogi.